Okay, so today, rather than having you rewrite all of these notes, because we're solving by factoring and graphing, we're just going to add to them. So go ahead and take out your notes from last time. You're solving quadratics by factoring. We're going to add and graphing. Hopefully you have enough space down at the bottom. So we already went through how to factor to find the x-intercept. So we plug in 0 for y. Then we factor. Once we factor, we have 0 equals x plus 1 times x plus 2. So we set each factor equal to 0 and we solve for x. So once you solve for x, then here is today's new step. We are going to graph the points and sketch the parabola. So some things that you need to know about quadratics. So y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is the standard form of a quadratic equation. So A tells us how our parabola opens. So if it is positive, it opens up. It's a happy face. If A is negative, our parabola opens down, so it's a sad face. And then C tells us the y-intercept. So let's go back to the equation that we started with. So y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. And so A, the number in front of x squared, is a positive 1. So since it's positive, our parabola is going to open up. It's a happy face. Should have done it with a green marker. So parabola is going to open up. And then we know that our y-intercept is 2. So we can also plot the point 0, 2. And then we just found our x-intercepts. So we have 3 points to plot, and then we know that our parabola is opening up. So let's go ahead and sketch our graph. Our x-axis and our y-axis. So first, let's start with our x-intercept. So we have an x-intercept at -1, 0 and -2, 0. And see that we could get a lot of different parabolas with those two. So we get some more accuracy by looking at A and C. So next we can plot our y-intercept, which is +2. And then that confirms too that our parabola is a happy face, that it opens up. And so we'll just sketch our parabola. we have a pretty good sketch, a pretty good idea of what this parabola looks like. So you'll just need to send me a picture of this portion of your notes for solving quadratics by factoring and graphing assignment. Or you can send me the whole page, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's look at the assignment for today. So solving quadratics by factoring and graphing. So first we need to plug in 0 for y. In this case it's written as a function f of x. So same thing. We're going to plug in 0 for f of x. So 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. Then step 2 in our notes says we need to factor. So we're going to factor. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 3 multiplies to x squared, x times x. We need to multiply to negative 3 and add to negative 2. I think that's negative 3 and 1. Because if we did negative 1 and 3, we would end up with a positive 2. So it's not that one. So we'll put negative 3 here and positive 1 here. Gives us 1x. And negative 3x, which combine to that negative 2x. So then we have x plus 1 times x minus 3. So then step 3, we are going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. So 0 equals x plus 1 times x minus 3. And we're going to set each one of those equal to 0. X plus 1 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. So we subtract 1 from each side, and x equals negative 1. So our first intercept is x-intercept is negative 1, 0. Then we add 3 to both sides here. So x equals positive 3. And so our second x-intercept is 3, 0. So we can plot those first. We'll go to negative 1, 0. Remember, they're x-intercepts, so they should be right on the x-axis, and they are. And then 3, 0. Then we're going to look to our equation for a little bit more information. So this parabola could open up or it could open down. So let's look at A. A is a positive 1, which tells us it's a happy face. It is opening up. And then C, the number all by itself, tells us the y-intercept, which is 0, negative 3. So we go to 0, negative 3, and graph the y-intercept. And then we just connect those points to form a parabola. And there we have it. Okay, go ahead and complete your assignment.